Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this without sounding too misogynistic. Okay, so woke Twitter went crazy over a comment by Tim Pool about a week ago. I know I'm kind of late to the party, but this is my first video ever, so sue me, alright? Give me a break, or like a sub, or a comment, or a like, or a share, or something, you know? Ooh! First joke on my channel. Proud of that one. So his comment said, "Whoa, I never saw this clip, but damn. Captain Marvel is a villain. She straight hurts and robs a dude because he was a jerk to her. That's a villain." His point is that she is a villain because she straight hurts and robs a dude. So I feel like I've met Tim Pool before. Tim Pool. He's like that kid that always wears the same beanie or like sweater that hangs out at the emo kid table. And then he goes and like does research in the library during lunch, and you're like, "Tim, stop acting like you're better than people." And then he continues to make videos about it. So robbing and hurting would be a villainous act, but it wouldn't make a villain. Those are just character flaws by a character that is outside of her element. She just arrived to Earth, you know, some jerk tells her to smile. Maybe it's her normal response to attack and burn someone's hand. I'm not one to say I am, you know, well versed in Krill intergalactic law or protocol. I'm not a nerd. I'm just making a video on YouTube about a movie, a scene that wasn't even in the movie. Alright, so I'm not the nerd. You're the nerd. You're the nerd for watching this. And that's how you make a fan base. Just like that. Twitter comes up with the basic response of compare and contrast and whataboutisms because there's an ism for everything. The one I like the most is the Terminator 2 defense. No one's really bringing it up as a defense, really. Just making a comparison, but I want to bring it up because it makes a lot of sense in the point I'm trying to make. So this scene is a perfect example of a trope that we've seen in everything from Dragon Ball Z to police footage. The US Marines, police officers, and even the Power Rangers have all used this technique called continuum of force. It starts off with level 1. Level 1 is compliant and cooperative. The subject responds to and obeys verbal commands. He refrains from close combat. This is portrayed in Termi's request for the jacket. This follows normal computer logic. Like, I want that jacket, I'm going to ask. See what happens. Level 2, resistant, passive. The subject resists verbal commands but complies to commands immediately upon contact controls. He refrains from close combat. But with the biker's response of smoke and a cigar burn, this escalates to level 3, since he's not cooperating. Level 3 is resistant, active. Initially, the subject physically resists commands, but he can be made to comply by compliance techniques. Level 4, assaultive, bodily harm. The unarmed subject physically attacks his opponent. He can be controlled by certain defensive tactics, including blocks, strikes, kicks, enhanced pain, compliance procedures, impact weapon blocks, and blows. So Goatee physically attacks him, and this escalates it straight to level 4. Throwing someone on an active oven seems to be an enhanced pain compliance procedure. Seems pretty enhanced to me, seems pretty painful. There's a procedure to it. Finally, Ponytail leads us to level 5, assaultive, lethal force. The subject has a weapon and will likely kill or injure someone unless controlled. This is only possible by lethal force, which possibly requires firearms or weapons. If you don't have a weapon, I guess you can borrow one. You know, from anyone around. Oh look, level 1 again. What partly makes Termi an enduring character is his I can't speak. What partly makes Termi an enduring character is his adherence to rules. He follows these escalation procedures even when faced with a deadly weapon again and again. He knows that these characters were not going to harm him any further, so he removes the threat or ignores it completely, which is heroic not because he is a man, a naked man, a naked, tall, muscular man. Naked, muscular future governor of California man who is naked, but because he follows the rules of escalation and does not use unnecessary force, which in that kind of situation seems like a very heroic thing. He was stabbed. You know, he wanted something and they were stabbing him, and blowing smoke in his face. His little warning even came up that there's carcinogens in the air. I'd be upset. I have asthma. I would have had an asthma attack. The premise of him being a literal killing machine, being compared to Captain Marvel being a heartless mercenary, is false because she just ignores these rules. No verbal commands were made besides repeating the word smile and asking for a handshake passive-aggressively. I've had the passive-aggressive handshake before, okay? I've gotten a lot of business associates mad at me, just passive-aggressive. Oh, put it there, man, and then they just squeeze really hard. That's not an answer, that's not a retort, that's not asking for anything, that's just asserting your dominance. That's essentially what she did. And her strength was the Tesseract energy or something, right? She then tases his hand, jumping straight to level 3, like in so many caught on footage videos. Okay. I wrote this. How can I not read it? Am I really that dumb? Am I really that dumb? That dumb? She then tases his hand, jumping straight to level 3, like in so many caught on footage videos I may have seen online or on Twitter. I've seen them on Twitter, they're always on Twitter. Then the robbery commences. We don't expect killer robots from the future or space cops to follow our insignificant processes, but we have an internal compass for justice. If seeing this doesn't resonate as wrong with you in your head, then your compass needs tuning. I'm not here to make you think in a certain way what's right or wrong. It's just, I feel as though we all have our own way of seeing what's right or wrong, and seeing this as plain as it is without any kind of gender or politics put into it, seems like it's wrong. If you can look at it with that lens. I can barely even read apparently from making this video, so I'm not even sure what I'm saying anymore. We can apply the continuum of force with all the examples used from Twitter. It went from 0 to 5 real quick. The huge sword versus his whip. A whip used to inflict pain when he isn't using it to strangle his enemies. This was lethal force versus lethal force. So, easy, done. Straight to level 5. Next. Right when he lands, he was shot. Another jump to level 5. Plus, I love this scene. Just the mechanical sounds of his armor moving, plus him just murking everybody. The first time we see something like this in the Marvel Universe, it was great. The only way I would love to see more is if he were a woman sarcastically quipping towards these Middle Eastern men, while the 90s rock band No Doubt played in the background. But I would never be able to see that in this day and age. Just, we're not woke enough, I feel. Just, we're like 5 huge franchises away from seeing something like that. Or we just saw it. I don't know. I do love No Doubt, though. It's a really good song.
Excuse me, sir. I think you're sitting in my favorite seat.
Well, come and get it for us.
Superman asks the jerk to get up is level 1, obviously. Dude punches first, bringing us level 3. And Superman throws him down the counter, hitting a pinball machine. Well, a little drastic. I mean, it still fits the definition of level 3, but I don't condone this behavior. My point is, making comparisons with conflicts in movies should be based on actions of the character and the context of the scene. I suppose gender would be a factor since he was trying to hit on verse, but just using gender as the only comparative tool is bad logic and lazy. So that was it for my first video. Please leave a comment, criticize me, say what I did good or bad. I really don't know what to expect. I don't have a following, I don't have a community, so really any interaction would be great. You know, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, like, subscribe, smash that like button, or tap it gently. I don't know how this works yet. First video. I mentioned it was my first video. Why do I have so many drinks? I don't know. Why am I nervous? Why do I feel like I'm in front of a huge crowd of people? I'm not. This is just me recording in my living room. I hear my son getting up, so I'm gonna go get him. So, yeah.